first show of 2025. That is right. We are here in the new year, and we are hopefully in store for another phenomenal year of horror that we're going to talk about here on T Watches the Scary Movie. Don't forget, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I have a new interview, a new opinion piece, or some horror news for you to come and check out. What are we talking about tonight here, though? Even though we're in 2025, folks, I got to talk to you about what I thought was the best horror of 2024. So, I don't want to waste your time here. We're going to jump right on into things. Let's see if some of your favorites made my list. And if not, maybe at least gives you an idea of something to go and check out this weekend coming up if you're looking for something spooky to keep you in at home here. So, starting at number 1. And what I will say, before I say this here, is that I do feel that my second half of this list will be a little bit more interesting than the top half, because the top half I feel is going to be a lot of ones that you're probably already expecting that have been on a lot of year-end lists. But either way, let's crack on into it. At number 1, I have Infested. That is right, folks. This year, we got 2024, we got 2 big spider horror films, and yet Infested was the more realistic one of the 2. I've talked about it before. Spiders are always going to be my greatest fear, and Infested definitely preyed upon that by adding in the relatable drama of people in bad positions just trying to get by in life, trying to make their dreams come true. And the idea that we're looking at all these people in this apartment building that's now infested by these poisonous, venomous, dangerous, murderous, carnivorous spiders was a great way to show that these people are kind of like the spiders themselves, that we look down upon them with fear, with trepidation. We don't want to give them a chance because, again, they look like the way that they do. And I do completely pick that up, but good Lord, y'all, the scares in Infested absolutely still take me out. I had to watch it a few times back in 2024. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch it again anytime soon because I still get the creepy crawlies from checking this one out, but I don't know if another film hit me as hard in terms of just genuine scares as the way that Infested did. Coming in at number 2 was A Quiet Place Day 1. Folks, we've been watching this Quiet Place series over the last decade here or so, and it's always been this intimate story following around this family as these aliens or monsters or whatever invade the earth and they kill anybody off the slightest sound being made. But this time, we focused on a pair of people in New York who, by happenstance or by a cat named Frodo, end up together looking for the final slice of pizza in the middle of New York City. Now, there's a lot of heart to this film, and the biggest part of that obviously rests on Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, who tug at your heartstrings throughout the entire time. I don't know if there was another horror film that came out this year that really hit me deep the way that this one did, but the human drama and emotion of A Quiet Place Day 1, to me, stood out above most of the other films that came out this year, minus Infested, because there were actually a couple moments in Infested that got some tears from me, and not just from being scared, obviously. And here's the thing. If you're still looking for the traditional jump scares that the Quiet Place series has brought to us, you want to see some great chase scenes in it as well too, you're still going to get that. But again, I do feel that the drama that we get in this one actually capitalizes on the family drama that we got in those first 2 films and takes it to new heights. Hopefully when we get another entry into this film, we're going to get something maybe a little bit different than what's been presented before. But who knows where this franchise is set to go to next. A Quiet Place Day 1 is available to rent and purchase on most platforms, and it's available for streaming on Paramount Plus right now. Coming in at number 3 was Longlegs. Osgood Perkins, brings us a story that is very much Silence of the Lambs-ish, but he makes it his own way by giving it this metaphysical spin to it. Nicolas Cage, I feel that Longlegs is going to be the one that a lot of people are going to look back at and see as the height of the work that he's doing. I mean, the makeup alone is just like ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but seeing the way that his killer in this film operates is pretty damn terrifying, honestly. And yet, and still, it's not Nicolas Cage who is the standout from this film. It's really urban legend alum Alicia Witt who is coming in with the performance of the year, y'all. Might be the best villain that we had on screen in 2024. And my list does include a couple other ones that I thought were incredibly strong as well, but I don't know if we're gonna beat that one there, honestly. This is one that I am gonna have to come back to for sure multiple times throughout this year due to a strong performance like that. Longlegs is definitely one you wanna go and check out for yourself. And again, it's available to rent or purchase on platforms right now. Coming in at number 4 was I Saw the TV Glow. Jane Schonbrun returns with the follow-up to We're All Going to the World's Fair, one of my favorites over the last few years, and follows up with a story just as strong that focuses on the horrors of leaving behind the safety and familiarity of childhood and those things that we latched onto that made us feel like nothing in the world could ever go wrong. And as you become an adult, realizing that the more that we hold on to these things, the more that we might be trapping ourselves from realizing our true potential, our true actual self, and being able to live in our truth as well too. Justice Smith is an actor who's been in a number of different kind of projects over the years at this point, and this one just feels so personal in what he puts into it. And I know a lot of folks who saw this and took it at face value struggled with it because they were looking for monsters or maybe more straightforward horror out of that. But as we saw in We're All Going to the World's Fair, that's not really the way that Schonbrun tells that kind of story. That a lot of this is coming from within, and it's everyday life that really has more of the horrors than monsters or serial killers or people trying to abduct you or things like that. And I Saw the TV Glow definitely spoke very deeply to me because I live in a state of nostalgia because that's safety to me. And that does make me feel like I'm still living in my younger years and that the world is going to be okay. And a lot of times that is just not the way that the world actually is. Definitely one that I recommend y'all checking out. This one is also available to rent and purchase on most platforms right now as well too. Alien Romulus comes in here at number 5 to finish off the top half of my top 10. This prequel is one that escapes the trappings of the previous films of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, along with the latter films. It's able to actually tell its own story even while setting up implications for the original Alien film. As somebody who is a big fan of Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant, I wanted to see a follow-up of that. I wanted to see the end of David's journey, and whether or not that led directly into Alien or not, I wanted to see where that was going to continue on to. And instead, Fede Alvarez brings us a story that allows itself to work independently while still giving us all the staples of an Alien film. This is the scariest that facehuggers have been in an Alien movie before. We get our first actual acid blood death, which you would imagine over the course of how many years and how many films that would have happened a lot more often, but it really hasn't happened all that much, and it is brutal the way that it happens here in Romulus. And then of course, there's Science Officer Rook, which was the big controversy of this film, with Rook using the appearance of the late great Ian Holm. Now, from my perspective, that did not take me out of the film in the least bit, because I understand why that was placed there as basically an Easter egg to any of us who have seen, the original film before, and knowing that this is an omen for bad things that are to come. And for newcomers to it, I can imagine that they probably didn't have much of an issue with that. And this is one that I think had the most divide in terms of being good or bad for films in the year, which makes sense of why it's here at number 5. But for me, it worked extremely well and left me excited for where the Alien franchise can go. And Fede Alvarez is currently set to make another follow-up to this one as well. So will we end up following our surviving characters from this? Will we get a completely different story? We don't know, but I very much enjoyed what we got here in Romulus. Alrighty, folks, and that is where we're going to stop it here for now. I gave you my top 5 of the top 10 horror films of 2024. I'll be back soon with the second half of this list, which I think is a little bit more interesting to see if the ones you wanted ended up making my top 10. Did my top 5 turn out the same way that yours did? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The best way to stay on top of all the content I'm dropping is to get subscribed to my link tree. You can do that by going to linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to be access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms for the audio only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for horror gaming including The Thing Remastered and Phasmophobia, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, folks. Hit that subscribe button, as in addition to the second half of the top 10 horror films of 2024, I also have reviews coming out this week for more episodes of The Creep Tapes, Penny Dreadful, Dexter Original Sin, and my first film of the year, The Advent Calendar, still hitting you with a little bit of holiday horror. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'll see you soon. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.